You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, YNR fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your weekly spoilers edition from Monday, November 20th, all the way through Friday, November 24th. We have a lot to unpack. I'm really excited to tell you guys all about this. Everything is getting really, really good with this plot with Claire. I've got some new information. I'm not going to be able to share it all here, so I'm going to have to do a standalone video about it, but I'm super excited. So check back later today for a dedicated YNR video on the very latest about Claire and Jordan and Nikki and why this is all happening. All right, Monday, November 20th is season 51, episode 35. Oh, hey, if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe. I forgot to ask you guys that. All right. So on Monday, Devon tells Tucker, I am done with you because of this Mamie Chancellor Winters stuff. Tucker tries to lie. Devon's like, nope, walks away and goes and tells Abby, and Abby's totally in agreement. Meanwhile, Mamie is faced with a tough decision. She really wants Nate back at Chancellor Winters, but Jill and Lily and Devon all tell her, you tell us what Tucker's real agenda is, what he's really up to, and we'll rehire Nate. So they've given her something to think about. They're not going to rehire Nate unless she flips on Tucker. And I mean, come on. She needs to flip on him. Kyle tells his dad, Jack, that he will come back to Jabot, and he's very happy. Meanwhile, Jack is ready to have that dirty expose on Tucker published, but Ashley and Diane ask him not to do that they think it's going to escalate everything. Ashley notices that Devon told Tucker to kick rocks, and she offered to help him reunite with his son by using her daughter just to be nice to him. Meanwhile, Nina and Jill both talk to Chance Chancellor. They are very worried about him. They don't want him being a cop. They want him to go work at Chancellor Winters. So that'll be interesting if he actually does that. Tuesday, November 21st is season 51, episode 36 of YNR. And we have Victor getting news that disturbs him, and that's from Claire. I'm going to tell you about that in 1 second. And Kyle keeps Audra guessing. His mom talked to him about going back to Audra and Tucker and basically playing double agent and spying. But Tucker already anticipated that, so I don't know if it'll do any good and if they're going to feed him false info. So we'll see. So Claire Grace is back in Genoa City on Tuesday, and she needs to get the rest of the family, right? So she runs into Victoria and tells her, oh, Nikki had an accident at my Aunt Jordan's house. All right. So I think it's going to be probably the following Monday, the 27th, before we see more on this. But this is her laying a trap. She wants to get Nick and Victoria and Victor all to the house. I now have confirmation that those are indeed the only ones that she is targeting. Abby and Adam are not on her radar. So she is also very excited to leave Nikki alone at the house, scared and suffering. Meanwhile, back in Oregon, Nikki is planning another escape attempt. I imagine that her Aunt Jordan is at the house or keeping an eye on it. So we'll see how that goes. Wednesday, November 22nd is season 51, episode 37 of Young and the Restless. And Ashley makes a deal with Tucker. She's already offered to help him. She is going above and beyond, but he is just being the king of snark and all those things that make it so fun to watch scenes with Trevor St. John. Michael Baldwin and Gloria Abbott are back to Genoa City. Abby is happy to see the whole family showing up at society, and she quips that she's glad that Michael kept Gloria out of jail. Gloria is looking very like old school, 1940s film star with her big dark glasses and her dramatic attitude. She's like draping herself over the sofa and just being weird. So it looks like Michael and Gloria have shocking news to share with the rest of the family. Oh, by the way, so Victor hearing news that disturbs him, if I didn't mention it before, that news is that something has happened to Nikki. So now all they have to do is round Nick into this, and she should be able to get them all there. All right. Lily and Devon take a step forward with Nate on Wednesday, and I wonder if that means that Mamie comes clean, tells them exactly what Tucker was planning and why he decided to bankroll her investment in Chancellor Winters. All right, Thursday, November 23rd is a rerun, but I need you guys to hear this because it is important. This rerun is not for nothing. A lot of times they will just throw in another Thanksgiving episode, but they're not. They're reaching all the way back to February 4th, 1993. Seems wild. Seems random, not Thanksgiving, and I'm going to tell you what's happening in this episode, and then I'm going to tell you why you need to actually watch it. So here's the other thing to know. Because it's a rerun, if you don't delete it or set a manual recording for Monday the 27th, you're probably going to lose it. Right now, Comcast and other programs still have Thursday showing as a new episode. On my DVR listing, it's showing as season 51, episode 38. And the problem is it records and it stores that episode info. And then on Monday, when the actual episode 38 of this season airs, if your DVR is set to only capture new recordings, it will not record on Monday because it's going to think it already exists on your DVR. You know, technology is only as good as its limits. So, but you may not want to delete this episode because you may want to refer back to it later. I'm going to tell you about it in 1 second. So the way to get around this is to manually set the recording for Monday, or go to your DVR settings and change it to pick up new and repeat episodes, not just new episodes. That'll also help you when there's news preemptions, because the fact is they don't just run Y&R episodes all over the place because, you know, the soap network doesn't exist anymore, stuff like that. So you can set it to new and repeats, and then you should have fewer DVR issues, just what I have found out. So this February 4th, 1993 episode that is airing on Thursday has Traci and Lauren arguing over Brad Carlton. Don Diamont, love him. But the most important thing is Eve Howard appears in this episode. If you don't remember Eve, she was a one-time assistant of Victor's. She was completely obsessed with him. She actually tried to kill him at one point. She hated Nikki. She wound up in a sanitarium, and then she later died. And her son was Cole Howard, and Cole Howard is just about to come back to Young and the Restless. That's why you need to watch this episode. That's why it's important. And I'm actually going to do a standalone video about Cole's return because this is a really big deal. Then on Friday, November 24th, there is no episode, not a new one, not a rerun, nothing, because of sports coverage. That's everything we have. If you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates, and be sure and be very careful about that rerun airing on Thursday so you don't accidentally lose your Monday episode. Thanks for talking Y&R with me. I'm here talking soap 7 days a week. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.